Our next speaker is Kevin O'Farrell, Associate VP of EMEA for Analytic Partners, and he will be talking about another theme that we've touched on many times today: live, fast, agile, forward. How do you actually master the elements of good measurement in today's complex world? So I'll hand over to Kevin.
Thanks, Bob. Welcome to my kitchen. So my tale today is about cooking and econometrics. So having worked in kitchens in the distant past and spent the last 15 years working in econometrics, I love to use cooking analogies to explain stats. So for example, your data is the ingredients, the analysis is the cooking, and the insights or the output is the meal. So blending these together. And with lockdowns and regulations impacting, practically everything as we've heard from previous speakers, I want to give an update on some of the things I've learned over the last 6 months. So my family were complaining a lot about cooking the same dull, repetitive meals in rotation. So for my birthday, I was given the great book, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, bringing the right level of scientific insight to raise the bar of cooking. And I believe a lot of the same things I've learned from this apply to measurement. Do you keep going with the same old approach that was created in the 70s, like a prawn cocktail, or do you raise the bar to create something new, like a prawn taco? So in terms of some of these, one of the big things from Simon's book was taste and taste again. So ingredients are going to vary, really depending, even an orange is going to vary depending on what side of the orange grove it was grown. So you really need to taste constantly to make sure you're hitting those right flavors. And the exact same applies to measurement. We've seen a lot of brands who were updating once a year, only finding out too late that platforms, creative, and context have changed. So increasing the frequency of the read, getting a pulse check on what's happening, knowing the return on investment is really powerful and really a way of setting the bar and improving the overall impact. Another key learning was about experimentation. So testing and control with different ingredients before cooking for a large group of friends or family. So cooking a carrot with herbs or spices and doing it without and really understanding that difference. The same with marketing. Before rolling out a national campaign with millions of investment, only to find afterwards that the message didn't hit or certain parts weren't lined up. We're really building out localized tests and learns to really understand the impact on offers, delivery time, service before scaling up and really rolling out and understanding that overall impact. The last learning is around tools, so using the right tools for a task. Don't grate off your fingers to get a line test, but invest in something like a microplane to really make the job a lot easier. And again, applying the same to marketing. We see a lot of teams sitting on piles of PowerPoint presentations to get the insights, but we believe using technology to really build out the simulations, having that at your fingertips to optimize your plans is a much better approach. So raise the bar of your cooking and your measurement program by using the right tools, experimenting more, and taste again until you get to the right impact. My long-suffering family certainly has learned from these.
Thank you, Kevin. I love the way you weaved and cooked the recipe of cooking the whole way through your speech there, so that was great. So
I was going to try and do a live demo, but I said it might be a little bit too dangerous, so there might be a risk of blood splashing up the camera.
Yeah, it could be like Great British Bake Off, right? So marketing measurement's pretty tough today, isn't it? I mean, you've got everything from walled gardens to econometrics at one end and digital analytics at the other end. You've got data you can get to and data you can't get to. Is this the most difficult time to actually attribute what is driving performance for a brand?
So in terms of, everything has changed and everything is changing even more. So, all of the data elements we're getting things locked off. But what we're really seeing is that, we've moved to far higher, frequency in terms of measurement that, getting data is becoming so much easier and it's getting a lot faster to get a lot more of the aggregate data. So we're really being able to feed the insights back to the teams to really, as I said in some of the things I talked about, to, really test and learn and see some of these impacts. I think whereas some areas have started closing down, others have opened up, and a lot of these feed elements and the test controls have compensated. So it's interesting times. There's lots going on, but we're getting really good case studies and examples of clients using these in the right ways.
So lots going on, but lots of new opportunities to measure differently. And you talked about controls. Actually, the name of my company is Control versus Exposed, and we look a lot at incrementality. Like, how often do you see marketers actually focusing on that? So did this actually drive any incremental revenue or sales, as opposed to did it just kind of drive something that seemed to be pretty much happening anyway? I think that is often not talked about enough in this industry.
Absolutely. In all of our conversations heading in, it's really focusing in on that incrementality part and making sure that we're setting up the right conditions in terms of any experiments, that we can really isolate that and really understand that incremental part that it's bringing. We've started building out some of our platform in terms of test and control at those more local levels, so across different geos, and really being able to pick apart those uplifts, but feeding that back into the overall marketing mix, so you can control for price, you can control for competition, and then really isolate and validate that incrementality. But absolutely, it's the key topic, and it's an education piece. But we are finding across Europe that more and more incrementality is being discussed at board levels, and it's come a long way in the last few years.
Great to hear, and I think the topic you're talking about is one of the most important. If you can't prove what actually works, then how on earth are you actually going to optimize your marketing investment? So, Kevin, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. We'll let you get back to your cooking, or maybe to using Just Eat to deliver your sandwich.
Thank you.